Welcome back to Astro Tina. This is your April 2025 Vedic horoscope for your ascendant sign. A month of karmic shifts and divine realignment. April unfolds as a powerful transitional period, influenced by significant planetary movements that shape your destiny. As the sun transits from Pisces to Aries on April 13th, we experience the energy of Mesh Sankranti, marking a shift towards bold action and new beginnings. The fire of Aries fuels ambition, while the lingering Mercury retrograde in Pisces, which is till mid-month, demands patience and introspection before initiating any major changes. So a major highlight is the lunar eclipse in Libra, which signifies the matters of karmic balance, relationships, and dharma. This is a time for inner clarification and closure, recalibrating in personal and professional bonds. Venus in Pisces, its exalted sign, blesses romantic and financial matters, while Jupiter's steady persistence in Taurus reminds us that slow, deliberate growth yields the best results. Now, with Mars in Gemini, igniting intellectual debates and strategic action, and Rahu Ketu continuing their transit in Pisces and Virgo. So this month is a blend of karmic lessons, steady insights, and the need for patience and rapid shifts. So expect breakthroughs, but only if you're aligning your efforts with divine timing. So now let's look at each sign individually. Scorpio ascendant, this is your April 2025 monthly calendar. Now, April, this is a month where you want to grab the chances at your workplace. You could get great social recognition. And also, if you want to do any religious trip traveling, it's a good time before the 9th of April. And you got to be careful of any arguments, especially with your spouse's siblings. So keep that in mind for the month of April. Now, let's look at your daily calendar. Now, beginning with April 1st and 2nd, your energies are great. This is, your love days are happening here. So the 1st and 2nd, this is a great time for you to bond with your spouse if you're in a married relationship. This is also a great time for you to do any collaboration with anybody outside in partnership as well. Now, looking at the 3rd and 4th of the month, these energies are stressful. This is where you want to be a little bit mindful of the energies that are around you, because something, whether it's emotional, whether it's mental, physical, the energies are stressing you out on these days. So you want to lay low on these days. Now, the 5th, 6th, and 7th, this is where the energies now have turned. They're more positive. So you are feeling lucky. You're feeling better. The week ahead is really good. It's really a very good, positive week for you. So now, starting from the 5th onwards, it's a great time for you to focus your energies at work, because you could get a lot of you could get good recognition at work. So the efforts that you're putting in will definitely get recognized. You definitely will get credit for the energy and work that you're putting in. So it's definitely well worth it to do that. If you have any meetings or presentations that need to be done, you should see that results are in your favor. Now, moving on to the 10th, 11th, and 12th. This is a great time for you to study the markets. And it's also a great time for you to do some networking, some socializing, spend some time, go out with your friends and have a good time. So a very social 3 days there. Now, moving on to the 13th and 14th, this is where you'll find you have to be mindful of these days. Your energies are low on these days. You're going to want to self-isolate on these days. You're going to feel lonely. You're going to feel like you're not being supportive on these days. Be mindful of any unexpected expenses on these days. And if any decisions need to be made, don't make them on these days, because they will not be in your favor. Now, moving on to the 15th, 16th, and 17th. And again, here, this is the energies have turned. They're more positive. This is energies, they're actually encouraging you to focus on yourself. This is where the universe wants you to rest, relax, and self-reflect and concentrate on yourself. This is where you want to recharge your battery for the month. Okay. Now, moving on to the 18th and 19th. This is your money days. This is where you'll find that the money flow is actually really coming in. The money energy is really working for you. You'll see that there's less resistance as in regards to money on these days as well. So if you look in your wallet, you should have more money on these days. If you're looking to take profits, great days for that. If you want to send out those invoices, great days for that as well. If you want to borrow money, great time to ask. And if you've lent out money, great time to get it back because the resistance isn't there. Okay. So definitely if you're someone who is into manifestation, great days for that. If you do lotto, great days for that as well. Now moving on to the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. These are positive energy days for you to do some local trip traveling, spend some time with your siblings. You'll see that you'll be able to build that bond and reconnect. And the energies are really good. You'll be able to get along with your siblings on these days. Now moving to the 23rd and 24th. Again, very positive energies. You're happy at home here. The home environment is quite happy, quite loving. And you'll see that especially these 2 days, you'll be able to connect with your mother and get the support that you need from your mother really easily here. It's a great time for you to connect and rebuild that bond with your mother. Now moving on to the 25th and 26th. Again, positive energies. These are great days where your creativity is highlighted. This is where your creativity juices are flowing. You're coming up with a lot of great ideas. Mentally, you're very sharp on these days as well. You'll see that, for students, these are great days as well. So if you're learning something new, great days for that. Now moving on to the 27th and 28th, these are where you do have to be mindful of your energies, health, debt, and disputes. Okay, so you could have issues related to health on these days where you're not feeling your best. You could be worried or stressed about debts, and you could see debts coming up on these days, or the issues related to debts coming up on these days. And you could get into a dispute with someone because your energies are irritated on these days, and the energies around you are irritated. So definitely be mindful and let these days pass. Now moving on to the 29th and 30th. These are your honey days. These are days that are great to spend with your spouse, with your partner, where you could rebuild your bond. And you'll see that the communication is really good with your spouse on these days as well. And you'll see that they're very receptive to communication with you as well. Now let's go over your caution days. That's the 13th, 14th, 27th, 28th, the 3rd, and the 4th. These are days that you need to be mindful of your health, your expenses, any disputes, any decisions that need to be made. Please don't do it on these 6 days. These are your caution days, as the results will not be in your favor. Now moving to your money days, that's the 18th and 19th. Money flow should be good on those days. And learning days. So if you're already trying to learn about the markets, then the 25th and 26th are great days for you. If you're already in the markets and want to invest further, then the 10th, 11th, and 12th are great days for you. Again, this is not financial advice. Please talk to a professional. Now for honey days. If you're married, the 1st, 2nd, 29th, and 30th are great days for you to strengthen your bond with your spouse. And if you're single, then the 25th and 26th are great days for you to go out on that date and connect with someone. Now, for students, the 25th and 26th are great learning days for you, where your mental energies will be very sharp and very much in focus, and you'll be able to absorb any information you're taking in. And for you to recharge your batteries, Scorpio, the 15th, 16th, and 17th are your days where you can do some self-focusing and you can do some rest, relaxation, self-reflecting on these days. Charge your batteries for the next month to come. So Scorpio, there you go. That was your April calendar for 2025. I hope you make the best of every opportunity that this universe presents to you. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for being with me today.